Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back, Panther Nation, to the one and only Inside P-Town. I'm your host, P-Way, and this is the one-stop shop for everything Carolina Panthers related, and this is presented by Proven Grounds. We are here. It is April 7th, and for me, April is the best month there is by far for a number of reasons. Number one, yesterday, I was blessed to get the news that my niece is officially in this world. I'm just excited and thrilled and blessed to have my niece here. This is just another great moment and time for our family. Number two, on the 10th, it is yours truly birthday alongside my twin brother at TP Way the Giant, who is the co-host of the Mirror Image podcast, which you can find on this channel as well with myself. Our birthday is on the 10th, so that shuts down the month right there. There is no better event than that. Then on the 18th is my nephew's birthday. And so with all that, it's just a great time for my family. And after all those sequence of events, we get to the 2025 NFL draft beginning on the 24th. So this is just a great time, and I cannot wait to get to this draft. Like y'all, I just cannot wait, man, just to see who the Panthers are going to add to the team. I'm tired of the speculations. I'm tired of all the news. My anxiety is through the roof. I'm ready, man. I'm ready to find out who we're going to select in the 2025 draft. Now, on this video today, I want to go over some news that happened last week and some new changes to the kickoff rules coming up this upcoming season. Also, there were some changes and some players added to the top 30 visits that we're going to discuss next. And lastly, an interview with our coach Dave Canales with Kay Adams, where he pretty much hinted where he's going with this eighth pick. All of that and more coming next. All right, Panther Nation. So, first, I want to start off with this video that I found absolutely hilarious. This video contains the one and only Super Bowl winning running back Saquon Barkley and his interview he had on the Hot Ones podcast on YouTube. So, go ahead and check this out.
From college to the NFL, like, were there any moments that stand out in your memory?
I kicked a little bit at the end.
Yeah, okay. Right. I think it heard you talking a little bit.
Yeah, I'll tell you the story. Julius Peppers, obviously unbelievable talent. My rookie year, we had a play. I broke it outside and kind of got blown dead. I think there was a flag on it, and he had me like right here, like had like by my shoulder pads, and like I'm like he's trying me, so I went like this. Like I tried to hit his arm down. And then move, and I try to hit it again, and didn't move, and then I'm looking at him like, all right, bro, like, come on, like, let me go. And then that's like when I realized that like there's a difference between like grown men strength and like being strong in the weight room. And yeah, that was probably like my most humbling moment of my life, not just on the football field, but as a man too.
Man, I'll tell you, listen, we can all agree there's nothing more humbling than giving all you have and putting all your effort in and trying to be physically strong, and then the other person just not moving and not budging at all. It gets no worse than that as a man, and I completely understand where Saquon is coming from. It does not get worse than that. You know, quick story. I remember a couple years back, I was at a festival with my lady, and we were walking around, and it was one of the most poorly ran festivals ever. I'm not going to say its name because I'm not even going to try to give them any bad press. But we're walking around, and it was so tight, and you had to move people just to get from A to B. So I'm moving people around, I'm flexing my muscles, everything's going well till I got to this one cat. And I'm telling you, dude looked like Debo. Like it was just a situation. I was like, you know what? I'm still going for it. I was feeling myself, and I said, yo, I got this. So I went to move him, and yo, he did not move a bit. So then I put my foot down, and I really just like, yo, move. And yo, he did not move. So I looked at my lady and I said, yo, we just gonna have to go around. We just gonna have to go around. So I took that L, and I'm glad it didn't escalate. You know what I'm saying? I just took the L. We had to keep it moving. Next, the Panthers have decided to re-sign Raheem Blackshear. This came as a surprise to some, but if you really look at his numbers, a lot of people don't know he is the second highest rated kick returner in the NFL last year. So he is coming back to the team, and this is all a part of the rules that are coming to the kickoff situation. And I'm just glad, as you can see in this article on Panthers.com, if you have the time, go check it out. He's excited, and he's going to get a lot more chances this year to return kicks. And I think that last year, his production value kind of dipped a little bit. And I think this is why the Panthers initially released him. But, after the NFL owners meeting that was this past week, it made sense to go ahead and bring him back and give him another chance to do what he needs to do on kickoffs. So as you guys can see here, here's some rule changes coming to the kickoffs for the 2025 NFL changes. First, let's look at the alignment. In the alignment, you can see that the 10 kicking team players, they line up on the receiving team's 40-yard line here, and they cannot move until the ball hits the ground or a player in the landing zone or end zone. Secondly, the receiving team must line up between their 30 and 35-yard line with at least 9 players must line up. At least 7 players on the receiving team must line up on the 35-yard line. And a maximum of 2 returners can line up in the landing zone. So here is the big change this year. Now, if a team kicks a touchback, the offense will now start their possession at the 35-yard line. And that's just a great starting point for any offense, and that's going to really increase the productivity of offenses this year, and it's going to incentivize teams to give returners a chance to return the ball. So you're going to see a lot of teams switch up their format, and they're not going to be kicking for touchbacks anymore. Allowing offenses to start at the 35-yard line. They are going to kick shorter and land in that landing zone and allow returners to exercise their right to return. So you're going to see players like Raheem Blackshear, get more changes and get more opportunities. And I think that's ultimately why the Panthers have decided to bring him back. They saw his production last year. A lot of it was due to the fact that he had less touches in the return game. So this year he should get more opportunities, and hopefully all we care about is hoping that that leads to a couple kick returns back next year, something that we haven't had in a while. So, I'm excited about these changes, and we'll see how it plays out. Next, 2 names have been added to the Panthers top 30 visits list. We have Texas A&M edge Shamar Stewart. He will take a visit with the Panthers, and Louisville DN Aston Gillette, another DN that's taking a visit with the Panthers. And as you can see down here, we also had Jalon Walker at the facility for a visit. And if you look further down, you will see the UCLA defensive end Oladejo, who had a visit as well. This just shows me that they're looking at of the edge prospects, and they're trying to see what combination of players is best and where. And this tells me they have some interest in possibly trading back for certain situations. So they're playing all their cards, and they're doing their evaluation process and looking at a lot of edge rushers. Shamar Stewart is a freak of nature. His combine stores were just simply out of this world, but I like to look at the college production overall. I believe that if you go to a player's tape, it just tells you the truth. And, he didn't produce as well as some of these other, edge rushing talents in this draft. But with that being said, we know nothing is off the table. There's a lot of options in this draft, especially defensively. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. And lastly, let's go ahead and get on to this clip that has been circulating last week. Heavy. We saw the interview between Dave Canales and Kay Adams. Let's check this clip out.
Draft 8th overall pick. What a tremendous story. And I know that now you're just coming for people's throats. Jalon Walker is on my show on Thursday. Do you have your face looks like you're excited about that? What?
First of all, she completely just made that up. Dave Canales has his regular face on. He's just chilling. She tried to go ahead and like, all right, let's see if I can get something out of him. But anyways, let's see.
Should I ask it?
I think just ask him about how he impacts his teammates.
Okay.
Every single Georgia Bulldog we talk to, they talk about Jalon Walker. They talk about the accountability, the way that he pulls the whole group together, the way that he plays with his hair on fire and communicates and all those things. And so I think there's just some intangibles about the guy that are really special.
I'll tell you, man, that right there just shows you how Dave Canales thinks, man. He's definitely a player's coach. I think he's coming to his own in that form, but he especially likes the intangibles of a player's mindset. He's all about those mental things, and this is why you can see certain moves like last year with Deontay Johnson getting released for the team. This is why you can see certain moves like Chuba Hubbard getting the contract that he did. He rewards players who are coming every day with the right mindset and have the right attitude. And you can see that is something that he really, really values in Jalon Walker. So let's go ahead and see the rest of the clip.
He wants to, he seems like that would be a nice fit.
Yeah, he's right up the road. I mean, this is what is it? Highway is it 85? Super
I don't know.
close.
Yeah, she is trying hard, y'all. She is trying hard.
So,
but I know that you pick 8th, and I know there's a lot of connections there, and I just feel like all signs are pointing. Blink if you're drafting Jalon Walker. But
he's like, oh, what? You can see him look like, what? Blink if you are drafting Jalon Walker. Man, you gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. But that was a good interview. Just to hear the passion and how much Dave Canales thinks of Jalon Walker, and that I just love that interview. That was hilarious. But at the end of the day, man, what we do at the 8th pick, we got to address this Jalon Walker situation. And hey, the great news is we got 2.5 weeks left, and we're gonna get the answer. So those were just a couple things I wanted to share with you guys today. Thank you guys again for coming back to the channel. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. This is your boy P-Way. And like I always say, with anything you do, make sure you do it with love. Till next time, peace.